Still kind of getting things situated here. Got my candle lit tonight. This is my own intention candle. Just a plain white candle that I put my intentions on, and I faced gratitude this way so you could see that possibly. Anyways, yeah, I just felt inspired to get on tonight, and just kind of with Thanksgiving season, at least in the U.S. here, it's about a week away. Just kind of was thinking how far we've kind of gotten away from holiday, sadly. In some respect, there's a lot of people in the spiritual community that do focus on gratitude and being thankful. I'm just talking about the collective in general. Each year they keep doing the Christmas stuff earlier and earlier and earlier, and I really it has to do with a lot of different things, but it's to keep us in that state of lack and always needing or desiring something outside of us, and which puts us in a lower vibration. If we're thankful and we have a lot of gratitude, it naturally keeps our vibration high. And the more you do it, the higher your vibration, just in general. But yeah, and just kind of sense of family too. As a side note, we always in my family, I always celebrate on both sides. We went to both sides on Thanksgiving, and for years now, my dad's side doesn't even celebrate or to celebrate, and it's very sad. But I know there's still a lot of people that do celebrate, and even if you're not an American, I know the Canadians celebrate in October, but even if you're not American, maybe you could take this time to think of what you're grateful for and what you have, and even the littlest thing. I always try to, like, whenever I start feeling sorry for myself, I always try to think of at least one thing, even if it's something small, to be thankful for, because there's always at least one thing, if not more. Um, so yeah, um, I do hope that we can get back to, especially since Rona, as I like to call it. Yes, it had a higher purpose in a lot of ways, but it did cause a lot of damage between people and relationships. And hello, welcome to the live. Made people frankly lazy. They got used to just interacting online, and it's just so much, it's so very empty. It has its purpose. Obviously, like, I'm connecting with you on this live, and I'm thankful that we can do this, but it doesn't replace face to face, connections, and especially like family in this time of year when it's very family focused. And I'm hoping, in the years to come, especially when Neptune's getting ready to move into Aries next year, but in the next 14 years or so, 15 years, I'm predicting that, in the next 14 or 15 years, people are going to get sick. Maybe not, they're not going to totally get sick of technology and online stuff, but they'll want that, like, grounded face to face, kind of getting back to our roots. They'll be wanting to connect in that way again, and looking forward to that. And but yeah, I just kind of wanted to do a reading, maybe for those that have a time finding gratitude. Maybe this reading can help, or just, I don't know. We'll just see what comes. But ever since I lit the candle, my right ear's been ringing. So I think there's a lot of messages to come through. Maybe not a lot, but there are important messages that are needing to come through, and the angels want me to get. So the decks that I'm using are the Food Oracle, because I thought that was fitting for Thanksgiving. There's usually full spread, lots of delicious food, and the Psychic Tarot, which I use a lot reading, and then I thought the Angels and Abundance Oracle deck was fitting for this, because the other thing about Thanksgiving is we're celebrating the harvest, which back in the actual literal harvest, but it can be really anything. Again, that you can find to be thankful for, and just also like the other thing too with gratitude. Hey Salvador, welcome. The other thing with gratitude is when you show that gratitude, we're naturally raising your vibration, and you're actually calling in more abundance from the future, which doesn't really exist from source's perspective, but from human perspective, it's the future. And so you're actually calling in, ironically, you're calling in abundance even if you don't have a lot, so physically, financially, so to speak. And that's kind of a news, abundance can come in all shapes and forms and necessarily have to be financial, but yeah, anyways, you call in more abundance just by having that feeling of gratitude, which is pretty powerful. I'm not sure what you mean, Salvador. The House of Pior. Excuse me. All right, so let's get into this reading. See what Spirit has to say regarding thanks and gratitude. Maybe we could ask, like, what other ways can we find to help us be in that being and state of gratitude that will help us bring in more abundance? I think that's what we're asked. Yeah. One card, please, Spirit. How's everybody doing tonight so far? Hope everybody's well. Okay, we got the to-go box, to-go, container. First thing that jumps out at luck will change. And so maybe if you have been kind of in the dumps and you've really tried to pull yourself out of that and it's had so much trouble, like even just setting that intention and saying like, I'm thankful for this, whatever, can instantly turn things around for you. That's what I'm kind of getting with this. And just like how that food is filled up to the brim, it's like I feel like all it would take is just it wouldn't take much for all that to pour out, kind of almost like the what's it called, the cornucopia, how it's just like a bunch of food spilling out in abundance. That's kind of what I'm getting with that. Like, as hard as it may be, and like I get like there are a lot of people in a lot of difficult situations, even in this moment. If you can just find that one thing to be thankful for, it can totally change perspective, your emotion state, everything, and ultimately your reality, and it'll shift. Maybe not. The best thing is just to continually, in every single moment, every single present moment, continue to have that gratitude. But even just doing it once, you could feel that shift, that state of being. You're saying something about the house of paper, Salvador? I'm not sure what you're referring to. So there's that card. Let's see if we can get any more clarification and advice on bringing in more abundance and having more gratitude, because they are synonymous with each other. They're innately tied. Yeah, obstacles and challenges. So again, a lot of you that are tuning in this, maybe even later, you're just feeling kind of I'm kind of like pushed up against the wall. Like you don't feel like there's a lot of ways to turn. Um, yeah, I'm in the United States, if that's what you're asking, Salvador. Um, and maybe there could be a lot of different reasons, why these blocks come up. But a lot of times, universe sends blocks to make us stop and think, and also to correct. And so again, this could be a sign that universe wants you to stop and take account of what you have. And so even just to take a deep breath and breathe, because especially nowadays with the internet and social media and stuff, we just forget to breathe sometimes. You know, take those really deep breaths, and that's kind of what I'm getting, is just to even just stop and breathe, and then again, just thinking of that one thing that you do have, can just shift your perspective and see if I'm getting anything else from this. Yeah, I just feel like these almost they remind me of Navi from Zelda, the Ocarina of Time. But I'm kind of just thinking of like those are like your spirit guides, and they're always around you and your ancestors. You, um, so you can always call on them for guidance and help. And even if you're having a hard time finding something to be thankful for, and have gratitude for them, and they can help you to get more in that state and just show you signs. They're always showing us signs. So I know a little bit of Spanish. I kind of got a few words, Salvador. I'm not fully fluent. That's what I'm getting with that. Any other advice, guidance from spirit about finding gratitude and thankfulness at this time, and then abundance? Spirit, more signs, messages. Okay. Oh yeah. So I'm just kind of immediately feel like, again, once you can even just find one thing to be thankful for, or multiple things, it's like it does connect you with the abundance of the universe and universal love. And the rainbow, like you'll find peace, more peace than you had, before finding that, gratitude. And again, ironically, the abundance start pouring in, especially the more that you do that, and you can like make a practice, whatever works for you. It doesn't have to be, it can be how often, and any time of the day, whatever you, um, just finding that gratitude practice, and just, yeah, just kind of even just taking, again, just take time just to sit in silence and breathe. All that is just tied together for connecting you to this universal love and, source love, unconditional love, and ultimately, bringing what you need. Because it's also about trust. A lot of this is about trust. And yeah, I'm kind of just, we're moving as we move into 5D Earth. Gratitude is huge, and also trust, like especially the basic needs and stuff, like our systems, our governments and financial system. It's all going to be shifting and changing. I did make a video a while back in the spring talking about Pluto and Aquarius and Sedna and Gemini. If you want to go check that out, it's in my playlist. It's in the I think it's in the 5D Earth playlist, but you can check that out, and I go into like this a little bit more in depth. But yeah, just you know, essentially we're going to be asked to, a lot of the light workers and way showers, we've already been doing this. Like we've been leading the way, holding that torch to just trusting that universe will always provide for us. And so as we move into this new shift, and with especially with the big shift that happened in the US, with the person that got elected, um, we're going to see some major sides moving forward, and just globally, and a lot of truth and light shown on the darkness. I mean, it's already been happening, but continually more stuff is going to be brought out, and then it's how these what's left of the existing power structures to fall and crumble. And like I said about the way showers, we've been already laying like the energetic grids with holding space, like trusting, for needs to be met, and just trusting in general. That's We've been creating this new inner overlay on the planet essentially the past I want to say, well, I mean, really, there's been light workers coming in for, centuries, but especially in the past, let's just say 15 years. So we've been laying these energetic new grids for the new Earth. So that's what I'm getting with that. Um, and there's just going to be, continual abundance, more access to abundance, especially with Pluto and Aquarius. Now that we're fully in Pluto Aquarius, if you didn't know, we kind of got back in April. I believe it was April when he dipped into Aquarius and then back into Capricorn. But now, as of yesterday, the 19th, I think today's the 20th. Now, Pluto is fully in Aquarius for the next 20 years, and it's going to bring major, major shifts. A lot of balance of power, that essentially where one or a small group of people had a lot of power and corrupt power, it's going to be given back full, because Aquarius is all about the balance of power between the individual and the people, the collective. And Pluto has to do with the money system, the banking system, currency, like fiat currency, liquid currency. Excuse me. And I think you said something about good videos. Say that you're saying I make good videos, so I appreciate that. Thank you, Salvador. But yeah, Pluto's going to bring a bunch of change. We've already been seeing a lot of new ways of like trading and currency with like the cryptocurrency. So I think that's going to get bigger and more popular. And we're going to see that play a bigger role, I think. Um, Hopefully, uh, it will be eventually backed by, gold or something. Or it'll be backed by something that is stable. And again, also just the general financial systems too. I think we are going to see going back to a gold backed system, and or something like that, something similar. Maybe if it's not gold, it'll be some other system. But because Aquarius, even if it's an air sign, it is ruled by Saturn, which is also really earthy and stable, and still likes to have something solid and tangible a lot of times. Um, so I think, again, that's just kind of towards and just, yeah, again, there's a lot of money, gold, precious metals that has been stocked up by the powers that were, and it's time for that to be redistributed back to the collective, um, because a lot of it has just been stolen money. It's been hoarded. It's been, yeah, just it's time for that to be redistributed and for the scales to be balanced, so to speak. Have a good night, Salvador. Bye. All right, so I think we're going to close out this the angels and abundance message. Ooh. They're jumping. Okay, so I'm going to pull one more card from the Psychic Tarot. Let me pull one more card. Okay. Okay, what other messages need to be heard about gratitude and thankfulness? Ooh, that one flipped. Solar plexus. Okay, yeah, that makes total sense. Solar plexus is like associated with the sun, and it's masculine. It's about being confident, being sure of yourself, who you are, your identity, and totally, that makes total sense. Like, just because, again, like when you are in thankful, it's putting you in a higher vibration, which is going to be like attracting more realities where you're just more confident, and you're more abundant, which also brings in confidence, and you're just missing more to you, that we deserve. We're all, that's our birthright. Yes. Yep. We're all divine sovereign beings. I also made a video talking about, so you can check that out as well on Under 5D Earth, I think, in my playlist as well. But we're all divine sovereign beings, and it's our birthright to have abundance and to be magnetic and just to magnetize not only what we need, have be met, because but also our desires and what we want. And that's what's so huge too about Pluto and Aquarius, because it's tied in with that. Because it is on that axis, Aquarius and Leo axis. The sun rules Leo. And so naturally, when more power is brought back to the people, it also is subsequently brought back vigil. But at the same time, it does start with each individual within society and within the group, within the collective, to own their sovereignty and to own their abundance and to own um, just to own that magnetism. When I say we're divine sovereign beings, we're all equal. We all are divine sparks of source. So not one person is better than the other. Yes, we're all different sparks of source, Apple. And then, so we all have different journeys and paths as souls, and even just soul DNA and soul traits. And then, of course, also at the human level, we all have different personalities and gifts, positives and negatives. So it's not to say like we're all playing a different part in the whole, but we're still equal in the eyes of source, no matter what your status, your quote unquote, what Earth society says your status is. We're all part of source, and we're all divine sovereign beings. So that's just what I'm getting with that card. Is to own that as much as you can, and to make that one of your main affirmations is like, I'm a divine sovereign being. And that's the thing with affirmations, is you might not necessarily feel it initially, but the more you say it, you're literally reprogramming your subconscious and mind, and you're also just putting that out into the universe. And so again, the more you do it, the more you're going to like feel it. It's going to become part of you, and ultimately, your belief. And the subconscious can be tricky. People have trickier subconsciouses than others, but we've all been programmed to have that lack, that quality of lack, and like we have to you know, work ourselves to the point of exhaustion and sickness to have what we need, and we're moving away from that. It's not to say that we aren't going to work, quote unquote work. I got to find a better word for that, but it's we're going to be doing what we're passionate about, and that's what we're going to be putting our energy into, which is going to bring again more of the abundance and everything that we need to be taken care of. And um yeah, feel like I'm getting a little bit of interference, but it's okay. We're gonna get back on track. Um, Archangel, protect the space, clear the space. Thank you. Um, but sorry, the track here. Yeah, okay. I was talking about what we're doing, what we're passionate about, and that's going to magnetize what we need, and even our desires, and just abundance. And it's finding that balance between the divine masculine, taking divine action, which is in alignment with the divine masculine. So not reckless action, in the sense of like, oh, this is what society says to do, or this is what my parents said to do, what maybe my boss says to do. Um, it's taking inspired, aligned, divine masculine action towards what we're being guided to do, and then also in balance, with the feminine, just waiting to receive, waiting to um, just make space, and so that's kind of what's happening too. Is as we're moving out of this toxic kind of patriarchal system where we were like told to like we have to just push 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 and kind of again to like work ourselves to the point of exhaustion and being sick to have anything. We're moving away from that, and again there's a time to action and there's a time to be open and receive, and so that's just basically the balance that we're learning, continuing to grow into as individuals and at the collective level. Hope that made sense for everybody. And now it's time to close out with angel message. Oh, that's funny. Look, came out gratitude list. Counting your blessings and feeling gratitude for what you already have helps you to be centered in your heart instead of fixated on worries in your mind. What and who are you grateful for right now? Keep focusing upon gratitude and you'll discover the amazing generosity of this universe. I mean, it's pretty much what I've been saying this whole reading. Universe, the angels are kind of comical that way sometimes when these cards come out. Could have found a more fitting card, right? Yeah, there's a picture of a donkey and a lamb, and like I'm hearing like there's a time to be stubborn like the donkey, and there's a time to be gentle and um allowing like the baby lamb would. So yeah, I think that's kind of like the shadow side of like Taurus and Sergi would be being too stubborn to change and not, because Taurus, even though it is a yin sign, it's a feminine sign. They can be kind of care a lot about making money and making sure there's enough to sustain themselves and to be safe and secure and all that. So there's a time to be stubborn and to use that stubbornness to kind of fuel your passion projects, I guess. And stubbornness is generally seen in a negative way, but there's a time for that determination to be used, and then there's a time to allow and just receive. That's kind of what I'm getting with the baby lamb, because like baby children, they're mostly in that receiving state because they're still growing and learning, and they depend on their. So that's kind of what I'm getting with that. Yeah, is to almost kind of, again, not, we have to take care of our responsibilities and stuff if you have kids or whatever your responsibilities may be. Like, can't just walk away. If you can get into that sort of childlike state of like allowing and not trying to control everything, allow the universe to take care of it, and then take action when you are guided to by the universe. That's kind of what I'm getting with this card as well. So I think that about wraps it up. And I hope everybody's doing well. And if this resonated for you, please like and subscribe. It really helps my channel. Comment. If you have questions, you can feel free to comment. And I do offer readings, offer astrology readings and tarot readings, card readings. So you can check that out in my bio if you're interested. And for those that celebrate Thanksgiving, I wish you happy Thanksgiving. And hopefully you can be there with family and those that you love. Or maybe if it's a Friendsgiving, whatever it may be, you could be with people that you love and just be in that gratuitous state, a thankful state. Take care, everybody. I'll see you in the next live or video.